I've been called lots of stuff. Yeah, I've done a lot of deed. I've had it rough and tough. You'll know I've smoked a lot of weed. Mellow, don't you know? Well, I've learned a thing or two, like when and where I should go to, what I should or shouldn't do. I've been left alone, no company, but that's alright with me, 'cause I'm big and ugly. I'm big and ugly. I'd like to let it grow, you know I'm talking about my beard. I'll have you all know that I know sometimes it might look weird, but I got a friend upstairs whom I'll keep confiding in. I know he's there 'cause when I knock he always lets me in. Brings me peace with what it is and what is not for me. To accept what I see, they're looking back at me as big and ugly. Big and ugly. I could have been small and cute and play a flute like a dream, or sing like an angel, maybe play ukulele. But I got to work with my hands and keep dragging it along, banging on that old guitar. Sometimes I'll write a song. I lose a few friends, so it seems I got no enemies. 'Cause what you get is what you see, that's how it is with me, 'cause I'm big and ugly. I'm big and ugly. Big and ugly.
Can he fade it in perfectly? There it is, everybody. Welcome to the Big Uglies. It is Friday, June 6th, and we're both here live with you guys for a little pre-Stanley Cup final showdown show.
Woo!
Not a bad little kickoff for Friday. A couple things to get out of the way before we get into the meat of the show. What do you got? Why are you holding pencils?
I was moving them.
Oh, okay.
They're on this desk, and I was.
You would have pencils. You seem like a pencils kind of guy.
No pencils?
Not over here. I have a lumber pencil in the utility drawer for framing things or leveling things.
I like to. Ideas can be in pencil.
Yeah. Yeah, see, that's where I think we're a little different. Like listen, when I write it down, it goes in fucking pen. Right out of the
I have pens.
Ain't gonna be
dry erase markers.
Ain't gonna be no revisions to this thought. You know, if I were a revision kind of guy, I wouldn't be as infamous on Twitter as I've been for the last, 10 years or so. But that's neither here nor there.
I don't revise.
I'll tell you what is here or there. We have shows coming up. I wanted to cover these right away. Now that the calendar has kind of cleared itself up a little bit. So far, we have 3 shows locked in We have the next show, America Strikes Back, in Austin, Texas. Very good possibility Carl will be joining us for that show. That is July 11th. Gavin's makeup show. Look at this. Look at solo little Gavin right here, all by himself. Gavin's makeup show for Pittsburgh will be the following week, July 18th. Will be just him. And who knows, maybe somebody else will join him as well for that, so that he's not just a lone guy on a little thingamajob. And then we did update the Detroit date. As of now, that's going to be October 12th. As always, that potentially subject to change again. But as of right now, October 12th. And then an important thing to notice, we have 3 dates that are on pre-sale right now. So you can get discounted tickets if you buy these while they're on pre-sale. That is before the actual date is set. I will tell you the New York date is set. So we will probably take those off of pre-sale in the next week. So get them now if you want to go to New York and you want to save some money. That show is going to be amazing, and we're going to have some special guests for that show for sure. So, Vegas, Boston, New York. I'm working on 3 other cities as well that we're very early in the process on. So, get these tickets at knobhillproductions.com. And you can use promo code ASB for America Strikes Back for even deeper discounted tickets. So there you go. I think that's it. Oh no, I was going to say this as well. When you go to get tickets, you can also see some of our beautiful merch over at biguglyshop.com. You can get a Big Uglies mug. You can get a horse jizz tumbler. You can get my first album, if you want to buy that, or second album, I should say, and some t-shirts and stuff. We got to work on merch. We got to get some more merch going here for the people. You got any merch ideas, Carl?
Oh yeah, Jerry.
Spitali condoms. You want to sell some of those?
Oh yeah, Jerry.
You know, speaking of merch and people who are pretty good at merch, you know, Dave Portnoy gets a lot of credit for being a good brand guy, good marketer.
Brand guy.
Big brand guy, built Barstool Sports from the Barstool Sports.
Big brand guy.
Big brand guy. One thing he's not very good at is not being a fucking faggot about Jew stuff, which has kind of been, you know, there's a lot of that going around, by the way. And this is one of the things is like, here's where I'll say, for the record, so people know where I'm coming from. I don't give a fuck what your position is, like what team you're on, if you're team Jews or team sand niggers, whatever you want to be, okay? I don't care what side you're on. What I do care about is freedom of speech and jokes, right? And so there's no whose side is right, whose side is wrong that will ever make me be like, yes, we should start censoring jokes about this group or that group or whatever. Apparently, Mr. Free Speech himself doesn't agree. And Carl, you were telling me this story kind of goes back more than just this week.
I don't think any Jewish comedian would ever make the same claim. Because, dude, what did they even say, right? They said, fuck the Jews. And he's like, how many Jews got? And then he went off on the tirade. So the first thing that happened was he was doing a pizza review, and somebody said, fuck the Jews.
Well, this isn't really the first thing that happened. The first thing that happened was some of his employees put a banner that said, like, fuck the Jews at one of his bars. And then he tried to, like, sun these.
No, it was just some college kid.
Oh, was it?
Some kid it was like some kid that went to Villanova or some shit like that. Or like,
so anyway, the college kids put the thingamajig, and
he tried to ruin that kid's life.
And then was like, then I'm gonna send him to Auschwitz, which really, you know, I'm gonna send him to Auschwitz, teach him a lesson, and then, you know,
it's like the worst thing you could win on The Price is Right.
Round trip tickets to Auschwitz, everybody.
Tell them where they're going.
How funny would it be if he gets there and he goes like, wow, this place is like pristine. It's almost as if no one has ever set foot here ever.
It's just like, Oh man,
resort like. I'm sorry, is this a soft opening for Auschwitz? Because it looks like it hasn't been in operation yet. So anyway, he wants to send him to Auschwitz. So then he's been on this fucking tirade about Jews, and now and what's amazing is every time there is like a actual thing against Israel or Jewish people, like October 7th, then they get about, I don't know, fucking 5 years of runway where everything is a hate crime. So like everything, if a Jewish person stubs their toe, it's because of anti-Semitism. The door stop is anti-Semitic.
So specifically with Portnoy, everybody knows he does these fucking pizza reviews.
Yeah.
And everybody knows he's an asshole, right? And he's gone about doing certain things that either people don't like or whatever. But he's known for like people shout shit out to him on the street, right?
Yeah.
So somebody heckles him on the street doing a pizza review and says the same thing that was on that the kids posted, at the club or whatever, that had on the sign, that paid to have that thing on the sign.
Guys driving by and he yells, "Fuck the Jews."
Yeah. And then the kids laughed that were
There's
behind
kids
him.
behind Portnoy filming the interaction, and they laugh. They laugh.
It's funny.
It's fun. It's funny.
Because so the initial reaction,
regardless of what's even said, circumstantially, it's funny.
It's funny.
That's and yelled, "Fuck your mother." It's funny, but the fact that the "fuck the Jews"
that they know "fuck the Jews,"
yes, is a thing that he's been freaking out about for 6 weeks or whatever.
Those kids got the joke.
Funny.
Those kids got the joke. They got it immediately. That's why. And he was just like, "What the fuck are you laughing at?" I would have, if I was those kids, like and people would be like, "You weren't like that as a kid." I was, unfortunately.
Yeah. And by the way,
I would have been like, "What are you laughing at?" I'm like, "Dude, that's funny, right? That's the same thing, right? I'm laughing at what he said."
Listen, I'm not an anti-Jew guy or an anti-Israel guy, but if I drove by Dave Portnoy doing a fucking pizza review, I would be like, "Fuck the Jews," like, because it's the funniest thing you could say.
It's just funny. Like I don't know. Sometimes you can't even explain why the shit is funny, but if you know it triggers somebody to have a meltdown.
Yes,
it's gonna be like the trigger phrase that everybody says. It's hence the catchphrase.
Right. So anyway, so I guess they're discussing this on his podcast or on a podcast on his network the next day, and it kind of gets out of control here. Listen to this.
I think right now you probably
nothing. Silence everything. What do you? Every comedian, don't tell a joke about it because, Dave, that's how the world works. I agree with you.
Go back to your question. When does freedom of speech impinge?
That was your
freedom
question,
of
not
religion?
mine. That was your question.
Answer it.
By the way, poor Ryan Whitney, who's like, "I really just want to talk about the Stanley Cup. Can we just talk about the Stanley Cup? The only Jew I'm interested in talking about is Zach Hyman. Can we please just talk about sports?"
How many deaths?
Yeah,
I don't have a good.
This is a hilarious gotcha. So for people who aren't watching, listen to what he does here. He goes, listen to the prompt.
Back to your question. When does freedom of speech impinge?
That was your question, not
religion?
mine. That was your question.
Answer it.
How many deaths?
Yeah.
So how many deaths before it's not okay to make Jew jokes? I'll throw it to you, Carl. Do you have a hard number ready to go?
I'd go with 6 million.
6 million? That's the line.
But I think it's up to 12 now.
Is cumulative, or are we starting from today?
I could go the other way. I could say 271,000.
Oh, okay. So you're saying all time? Yeah, I would say all of them, and I would still make jokes. If there was some kind of weird, like, solar flare that only wiped out the Jews, which, by the way, would be real hard to deny the Christ at that point, right? Like, this is a literal act of God who just takes out the Jews. It'd be kind of hard to argue the Messiah at that point. But I'm saying, even if every Jew somehow got snapped, like Thanos out of existence, that would be funny. You would have to make jokes about that, right?
Well, because you'd be walking around and you go, I can't help but notice.
Right.
You know,
It's
I
like,
think after that whole flash, the flash of light went off, and the people just started disappearing. Like the bakery up the street with the good bagels closed.
yeah.
You would just start saying, you would just start going, oh yeah. There would actually be a noticing.
Now, if I got to pick, I would probably put two groups of people ahead of the Jews on my Snap wish list, if I'm being honest. But maybe three ahead of the Jews.
What do you do, huh, buddy?
Yeah,
What do you?
that's one of them. That's one of them.
You want yourself, Woody.
Number
You want yourself, Woody.
probably number two. And by the way, fitting that they're number two because they're wrapped in number two everywhere they go.
You want yourself, Woody. You don't want a war with India. Do you see what they were talking about? India and Pakistan might go to war. They're like, India and Pakistan might go to war. You'd be like,
yeah. Does anybody care about
wait. Does this affect us? Is there going to be like shit everywhere from one of the bombs?
Yeah, as long as the
as long as the shit stays there. If it like, and I don't mean figuratively. I mean,
yeah. I would stock up on Cottonelle if there was
this guy's question. What's this guy's what's Portnoy's question to this guy?
Its question to this guy is, well, he says, when does freedom of speech, he's trying to say infringe, but he says impinge on freedom of religion. And it's like, first of all,
now he's religious.
They're the same thing. Freedom of speech and freedom of religion are all protected under the same amendment. They're not different rights. They're the same thing. It really all boils down to freedom of expression. So when you go, when does one usurp?
It really boils down to
not never
pussies.
So let's watch this continue. So he thinks he's really got this guy with a gotcha. How many dead bodies before you stop joking? Also, I do have to point out that Whitney kind of looks like an SS general right here, where he's like, you could kill all of them and I would not give the fuck.
Every last one of
the Jews.
Look how he's about to start with his rant about his marching and his victimhood.
Listen, my name is Ryan Whitney. I'm also the co-host of the Nasty Knuckles podcast.
Ryan Whitney.
And go Oilers! Yeah, so let's see.
Let's listen to this rich New England Jew that went to Michigan. Let's see what he has to say.
Jew, by the way, atheist Jew.
I don't have an answer.
Like how in America, American citizens.
What's your answer to that question?
Now.
Okay, we're there.
Now.
So now what? So now what do we do?
So maybe you stop with the fucking Jew jokes and act like it's not a big deal when someone does fuck the Jews in a bar.
Or no, here's the thing. I'm with you 1,000% on that. You should have fucking kicked those people out. Of course you should.
I'm not talking about kicking them out. I'm talking about.
You want to go to jail? Like, what do you want? Like.
You are defending this guy Mick for what he said.
So I love the moving of the goalposts that happens when people have these arguments. He's asking him, "What do you want?" And Portnoy's going, "So you fucking defend this?" And it's like that's not what's happening at all.
What do you want to happen?
I'm asking you what you want to happen. What do you think is the appropriate punishment? And rather than answer, you're just going, you fucking support this. You support this? And in a weird way, this is like debate 101. When you are countering an argument that hasn't happened yet, it means your position is wrong. It means you're weak because you're already arguing the defense against your shitty idea, which he hasn't even made yet. He's just going, what do you want? And he's going, oh, so you condone this, because he knows that if he said what he wanted, the guy would go, that's ridiculous. So he's just skipping ahead.
But he even said, what do you want him to go to jail?
Yeah, he's like, what do you want him to go to jail? I know him. Yeah, MG goes, impinge is a word. Yes, I know, but I think he meant infringe. I don't think impinge applies.
No, impinge is what happens to a nerve.
Impinge is what happens to my penis if I zip up too fast. He goes, impinge.
he's about to say something really Jewy.
Yeah, look at him.
Right after that happened, he's not anti-Semitic.
I'm not defending him. No,
if your brain goes there,
I'm not defending him, Dave. What I'm saying is, you
hold on.
If your brain goes there, you're an anti.
Listen,
see, dude, that's the shit that makes you go. They want Minority Report.
Yeah,
dude. They
listen, dude.
That's thought police shit.
If I could go to jail for where my brain goes, my brain goes to serial killer places, dog. Like my brain would make my brain would make Jeffrey Dahmer look like elementary school, dude.
You thought about killing him.
The things that I think about randomly throughout the course of a day would turn your fucking stomach inside out. And
I don't want to know that.
By the way, I don't even like that these things pop in my head.
It sounds like you do.
The problem is like when you're a comedian and you're always mining reality for like what is the funniest thing, sometimes your brain will go, let me fucking feed you something you don't even want to think about right now. Let's see if there's anything there. And so it'll do that. You know what I mean? Like I'll see two fat Mexican bitches, and I was just like, "What if they were shitting into each other's mouth right now?" My brain will feed that to me sometimes.
Why can't they just be happy and sit there? And
it's not where my brain goes.
One of them has a big tongue, and she chews it every time she tries to talk.
No, the other one, no. They
why does it have to go with,
and they go, I
shit. Why? I hate shit.
I clean. I know clean. You clean. And then they argue over who has to clean the poop. It's
shit is gross. I hate shit.
But again, I didn't pick it. It just popped in. You know what I mean? It's like the end of Ghostbusters. It's like Stay Puft Martin is, listen, I tried.
When the mayor says, and he looks at them all in the face and he says, I don't care what's this. Get me the Ghostbusters.
Yeah. And he goes, whatever you think of, I will become. And then he's like, the Stay Puft Marshmallow Man. Like that's my brain is Dan Aykroyd's brain, and it will just throw random shit at the wall.
Yeah, but Stay Puft Marshmallows is not shit. Imagine if it was the shit man. I was thinking about a big old piece of shit turds.
Yeah, but like you never just thought
about way worse.
You never just thought about a black guy slapping somebody with his dick in public.
Never,
never once. That thought's never crossed your mind where you're just like, oh my god,
not a single time.
Slap that man in the face with his cock.
So you hold on, wait. Let me just slow it down for a second. So you sit in there in a public setting.
It does look like they're watching our conversation right now in judgment.
They should be.
Yeah. Okay.
So you're in a public setting.
Yeah, and I'll just see like I'll see a black guy walk by who I know has a big dick. You just know, like he's wearing basketball shorts or something. He's got a dangle, or he's wearing tight jeans, and it's like Jesus, man, wear another layer. But you just sit there and you go, what if that dude just walked up and smacked?
No, that's clearly a fantasy.
It's not well, first of all, it is a fantasy that a random, usually bitch of a white woman were to just get cock slapped mid brunch. I don't care who does it. That is definitely a fantasy of mine. I have justice fantasies where it's like I don't think
that who's getting that justice. Who's that?
I am. It's my exacting of justice. It's
what was that justice?
Always keep your head on a swivel, motherfucker. Never turn your back on the door. You know what I mean? Like if you get slapped across the face with another man's penis,
we are sidetracked from. We can't even let this clip finish. And you got a fantasy.
It's not a fantasy. It's a justice fantasy.
It's a fantasy.
Yeah, but it's not sexual. It's
pretty sexual.
Street justice.
Sexual justice.
Street justice. Just lady.
There's a lot of sexuality involved in it. First of all, you said when you know that when you know that black guy has a big dick, you know, he's wearing basketball shorts. And then that's not knowing. That's you looking at a guy in basketball shorts going like, man, what if he just whipped that out right now?
And
first of all, terrible. And no. It doesn't even have to be an and after that. Right there, is bad. Everything leading up to that part is not good.
But you don't think the surprise on that woman's face would make your month?
No.
Because that's what I think about. I think about like, what the fuck would she do?
First of all, I think about how horrifying it is for that to happen in a public setting.
It would be the funniest thing I've ever seen in my life.
I don't know why that's funny. There's not a single thing that I would find funny. First of all, disgusted. The amount of like the level of disgusted I would be.
I don't know.
We can't even let this clip play without this fucking
I think you'd laugh.
Fantasy intrusion you had. You're like, you ever just.
I think if you saw like a 60-year-old bitter Brentwood housewife bitch of a bitch just get slapped with an just unsuspected cock slap in the middle of her brunch, you would lose it.
Here's the problem. You know why? Because when you say all this, right? I'm picturing like at an airport.
No, airport's the wrong place for this.
Exactly. Every setting is the wrong setting for this.
No. I'm thinking like a Beverly Hills
movie theater, terrible place.
Movie theater, and there's no one can see. It's dark.
Patio lunch, terrible.
No, it's got to be a big crowd. Cafeteria,
a kennel club,
cafeteria type situation.
Cafeteria? What
Yeah,
the VA?
Yeah, sure. Well, no, because then that woman's probably a veteran and she doesn't need street justice. I'm talking about
or she just clean. She just works there.
Well, see, that's not funny. That's
some guys is like, hey, Miss Lady, bitch.
Oh, see, now you're doing a guy's voice and it makes it funnier. Let's see, I can get behind it.
That's what makes it terrifying.
Well, either way, Portnoy's fantasies are not nearly as bad as mine. This is where it goes from here.
You should have him on here or somebody else like that and fucking fight with them, because then you have a conversation.
That's what this idiot wants.
Dave, these guys that wrote the thing at the bar, fuck the Jews, right?
Yes.
You're gonna fucking fly them to Auschwitz. Some guy tweets at you something. You want to fucking? He's not.
Kirk, it was a bar I owned. It was a bar I owned.
They should have been kicked out. So, but my thing is,
no, it's not just kick out, Kirk. Are you ignoring what's going on in the world?
No, I'm not. What, Dave? What do you want to do with those guys? What do you want to do? What do you want to do with those guys at the bar? Put them in jail for 50 years? Fine. I don't care.
I didn't say that. You're quite literally changing everything you say, Kirk. If you just want me to kick them out, not mention it, not care that this kid is anti-Semitic, shut up. If you just want me to ignore it,
don't tell me to shut up. Don't
shut the fuck up, you bald fuck.
Okay, go ahead.
How's that?
Oh, it's kill. I'll never recover from that, Dave. Go ahead, continue. I'll never recover.
Well, you're the one who big boss man. Don't tell. I'll tell you work for me.
Okay, go ahead. Continue.
You little bitch. You work for me.
Sure, you bet. For now.
Oh, you
continue.
don't? For now, quit. I don't care.
Is this show or not a show? Like, is a show or not a show? Like, we can't have a conversation?
You're an idiot.
Okay, continue.
You're literally saying people should be allowed to make Jew jokes, say whatever they want right fucking now.
Yes, I think people should be allowed to make jokes.
So how many motherfucking Jews have to be killed before you stop?
That I don't think.
What else? Where else is that happening with the religion?
You really gotta admire Whitney's stone cold face of like, there could be millions of them that would not give fuck.
There are people.
I don't think those psychopaths, I'm with you, they're scumbags, are the worst people on the earth.
You don't think it's all related?
They're college
kids.
Telling
a comedian not to make a joke?
I'm
with you, but you said stop all jokes.
Jew jokes of that nature now.
We'll ban Jew jokes of that nature. We'll get the Constitution, we'll get Congress, and stop Jew jokes of that nature.
I'll go back to this.
Yeah.
When does freedom of speech impinge on freedom of religion?
I don't think freedom of speech should. I think freedom of speech is the most important thing in this country.
Okay, so people can go kill the Jews, and there's no responsibility if someone goes and kills Jews.
No, that's a crime if you kill somebody.
No, but not saying, hey, go kill Jews.
That's different.
Well, but that's
fuck the Jews does not say kill the Jews.
Right, exactly. Isn't it funny how
fucking drama queen faggot.
You have to move the premise for your argument to hold water.
No.
Dude, if there was a sign that said fuck
say,
the blacks.
Somebody should go kill Jews. You don't do it, but someone hears you and goes do it. You're fine with that?
That's incitement, you fucking faggot. That's not protected speech, by the way. That's why Charles Manson went away forever.
Somebody says, go kill Jews?
Yes.
No, that's different than telling. I thought we were talking about telling a joke. I thought we were talking about comedians.
They are all using semantics for anti-Semitism right now. And I can tell the difference because
he's the expert.
I can tell the difference because I am one of the. It's just I will be the decider. I'll decide where the free speech line ends. And by the way, this is every fucking liberal. This is proof that Portnoy's never stopped being a liberal. This is every fucking liberal. This is how they think. Freedom of speech until my feelings are hurt, until I decide it's too far, until I know the difference between careless jokes and hate speech. I'll tell you when it's hate speech. This is where it starts.
20 years of doing it, I've never mentioned it, Kirk.
No, and I said to you when this thing happened.
How can you not realize we're in a different time right now?
I completely realize, and I'm sensitive to the fact that you're sensitive, and I feel bad.
No, you're not. You don't get it.
That's not true. I am sensitive to it. What I'm saying is, it's a fine line. I think you would agree. I think you would agree. So maybe you don't. That when you start harnessing free speech and what can be said and what can't be said,
I'm not saying throw any of these people in jail. You want me to give this kid a pass?
No.
Well, what does that mean?
If you want, no. What I would like you to do, in my mind, this is why I pitched it to the producers, and you disagreed, and you are the boss. Like I said to you yesterday, it's your dime. You own the company. I thought it would be interesting to have somebody on who you disagree with, who I think at the end you wouldn't disagree with that much, have a conversation, which is what I thought you were trying to do. Hold on one second. Which I thought you were trying to do with bringing these guys to Auschwitz, trying to have a conversation. So you put a name in the face of somebody you disagree with and have an actual conversation.
Yeah. But, amazing how quickly he shrunk into, I'm your fucking boss, bitch. And it's just like,
so fucking quit. I'll say 500 grand. You're like, fuck you, dude.
Yeah. Also, I would love to make 500 grand to get yelled at by a Jew. Is that a job? Can I get that job? Would you get yelled at by Jews for $500,000 a year?
Nah.
No? How bad could it be? This is all you got to do is train your brain to tune out that frequency. You don't even hear it after a while.
I'm all right.
You don't even hear it after a while.
I don't even want to be there for the while.
Oh man. So what do you think? Do you think Portnoy's going to kill his fucking company with this raging?
I just think that, yeah, because there's so many people that could they're probably popular enough if they did their own thing independently, they would still get money. That's what Bussin' and the Boys is doing, right? They're not part of them anymore. Right? Weren't they originally on Barstool?
I think so.
McAfee, same thing. He ended up signing an ESPN deal. And that's the funny thing to me is just like your claim to fame was making fun of the head coach of the New York Jets. It was whole Boston sports hating New York sports. And they're the ones that sold the Rex Ryan foot fetish shirts and shit. That's like Barstool's thing. That's what like.
Yeah, I mean,
and then they have these little satellite region things, and all of it was about shit talking other fan bases. And it was like, so the assholes of sports, the anti-ESPN, and then everybody from there either wants to be like ESPN or Barstool tries to be like ESPN.
Well, I do think it's funny that both Portnoy and Bill Burr are Boston guys, and they both have like this same mentality where it's like you came out of this fan base, like Bill Burr with the Opie and Anthony fan base, Portnoy with his own Barstool fan base. You built an audience or were part of a fostered audience of assholes, of shitheads, of fucking dickhead trolls. And then that audience starts to turn on you with a specific topic or just giving you shit about something that you're too precious about, like Bill's wife, Portnoy's Jews. And then all of a sudden, it's like they forget where they fucking come from. You know what I mean? Where they're just like, hey man, you were with these assholes, you were one of these assholes, and now that they're making fun of you, you're like, guys, too far, too much. And it's like that is
Howard
the name.
Stern is that way.
Fucker.
Howard Stern is that way for sure.
Yeah.
Portnoy is like that, and there's somebody else who's like that too. Maybe like Kimmel. It's just they go, well, it's Disney money. What am I gonna fuck up this Disney money? And they're like, what's gonna happen? Slap on the wrist, or they take it away, and God forbid you land on your feet and your millions and do something else.
Yeah, it's like how much do you really need? Like, you know, and I've said this many times. Like, I have a very specific number in my head of what I'd like to make per year, where I think I'd be comfortable and be able to like own a home and whatever. It's not even $1 million a year. So you look at these people that have $100 million or $50 million, like Bill Burr or you know, any of these other, and it's like, how much fucking money do you need? How much money do you need? You need enough so your asshole kids don't ever have to worry about working? What is that? Like, I would never earn money for the purpose of having generational wealth for my kids. No.
Why not?
No, I wouldn't do that. You would be able to enjoy our money, my money, while you're a kid, but when you're an adult, go hunt. Figure it out. You
don't want like a trust that they can get access to when they're like
when I'm dead,
like 40.
No, and matter of fact, I don't even know if I'd leave it to them when they were dead. I'd probably wait and see how they were. Right? Like, you'd love to think your kids turn out to be awesome. If my kids turn out to be fucking faggots, I'd leave it to dogs or something. Fuck them.
That sounds so terrible.
Yeah, but it's, what do you mean sounds terrible? The whole thing's based on a hypothetical. I don't have any kids right now. If I did have kids, we don't know how they'd turn out. Maybe their mother's a cunt. You know? I've been tricked by cunt before.
Yeah, but it'd be your fault if they turned out to be a bunch of faggots.
Sure, but it's okay. It'd be partially my fault. Could also be the fault of their cunt mother. It could also be the influence of the world around them.
Nah, 100%. All of it.
Yeah, everything. Okay. God, I hope you have a fucking faggot of a kid now. I hope you have a fuck-face faggot of a kid. So I go, it's all you, Carl. That's all on you. And you go, nah, there's school or whatever. No, faggot, it's all you. It's all you. And I'm gonna start from the time he's a baby.
Well, I'm just saying that you're gonna take his transaction.
He's a fucking baby. Ow! Oh, look, 3-year-old just said ow. Oh, is he crying? Oh, they better get careful. Careful, you might start sucking cocks, buddy. What are you gonna do?
That's not what makes him a faggot. You.
Look at him crying. Better get on top of that, Carl.
No, you're like, what if they're like pieces of shit? Like,
yeah, that too.
How they are.
That too.
That's what you meant by faggot, not like faggots.
It could be either or. Could be either or. I'm not fucking funding.
I'm saying if they were a bunch of ungrateful cunts that you weren't going to leave your money to, it would be because of you, right? They're your kids.
Yeah, but they're also their mother's kids.
Are you estranged from these hypothetical children?
I could be. I don't know.
How'd it go with her?
I hope I'm estranged from. I hope they hardly know me.
Well, speaking of estranged and children, Elon Musk and Donald Trump.
Hold on. Should we show that clip of his estranged? Did you see this fucking thing? Oh my God.
Is this the drama?
Did you see?
We didn't know that we wanted, because it's pretty gay. It's pretty gay and petty and gay. Did I mention how gay it was?
Yeah, this is it don't get much gayer than this, I'll tell you that much right now. Oh, wrong button.
One Swedish made penis enlarged and fun.
Yeah, this is talk about disappointing children. Here's a clip of a disappointing child.
We got a picture of Vito over there.
No. Why would I have any? I try not to have any pictures of him anywhere near my computer. You know, I think at the minute, I think a veto file of any kind is a Trojan horse for the FBI to just come into your shit and go, yeah, we own your computer now.
Vito's saved picture in a folder is looking through your files to see young photos.
This is Elon's trans thing.
What the fuck is this?
This is what he thinks being a girl is, apparently. It's just whatever that is. And you watch that and you go, okay, so Elon's kid is obviously a fucking lunatic. And then, as if not to be outdone by his trans son, Elon decided to go even crazier yesterday.
Mars man.
What was your favorite part of the Trump Elon feud so far?
Well, I don't, in this fake era, I don't know what is real and what's not.
Okay. So it's like a real punt on having an opinion?
No, but I'm saying, so like, I don't know what because there's that thing circulating that he was like mediocre Musk.
That's funny.
I don't think that is real, because that's the one that says he wants to go to Mars. How about you go back to Africa?
Yeah, that's funny. They probably look about the same.
Steve Bannon, though, with the he came in with the
guns blazing.
Yeah, with a little bit of like, it made me go, you can do that. So he said that Trump should use the Defense Protection Acts and the powers that be from that
to take over his company,
to seize SpaceX, because Elon was threatening to shut down all these projects and stuff from SpaceX. And he was just like, he should seize it tonight, and he should deport his ass.
Yeah.
And I was just like, yo, dude, can you deport the richest guy in the world and tell him he can't come back to America ever?
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know how that works.
But that's the gangster shit you could do, right?
I think he has a permanent resident card. But this is the problem, though, is if he did something like that, it would just pour gas on this idea that Trump thinks he's above the law and he's above the Constitution. You know, if the guy has a citizenship or a permanent resident card and you're just deporting people that you don't like, I mean, that absolutely would fall into the category of like gross abuse of power.
Yeah. Except for the fact that what if he's an illegal? Also, if you earn your citizenship through a green card, you can still be deported. And it
but don't you have to commit a capital crime for that to happen?
I don't know, like obstruction of justice or some shit, lying to the president of the United States.
A green card holder can still be deported from the United States even though they have lawful permanent resident status. Reasons for deportation of green card holders: criminal convictions, abandonment of residency, public charge.
He doesn't own a home
becoming a
anywhere in America.
Yeah, that's not abandonment of residency. You're
no, but I'm saying, so like you could be like, hey, he doesn't even live here. Why doesn't he make him? We're gonna make him buy a place.
That would be fun. That would be a funny punishment. Make him buy real estate.
We're gonna make him buy a place, and it's gonna be right on the coast of Malibu.
Land. Yeah, he makes him buy all of Malibu. That would be fun.
He just buys up all the fire land they got.
If the green card was obtained through fraud, obviously, green card holders can be deported if they are deemed a threat to national security. So that would be one.
That's what Bannon's talking about. He said under the Defense Production Act or some shit, and him threatening this is a threat to national security.
This is crazy. Did you see this one? Becoming a public charge reliant on public assistance within 5 years of entering the U.S. or if the conditions of public charge existed before becoming a green card holder. So you can lose your green card status just for being on entitlements. If you're like a net taker. So first of all, I can tell you this. If we started deporting those people, it would be a mass exodus. You know what I mean? Like
of self-deportation.
Oh, well, no, just of deportations. Like, I can't imagine how many green card holders are net negatives on entitlements. It's got to be tons.
You're saying if they just enforced what already the law is?
Yeah, I'm saying if they just enforced what this law is right here, there would be way more deportations than we're seeing right now.
Yeah, Obama did like 10 times the amount or some shit like that.
My mom was explaining to me when she worked in real estate, and she was a property manager. She was telling me that like fucking immigrants would come in with like these checks from the state that are like a year's fucking rent in one shot, and the government would just pay for their fucking place to live for a year at a time.
Yeah, it's just a stipend I give them.
Hey, Vito the Wig with a very first ever super chat. Thanks, buddy. You didn't type anything. It's just $19.99.
It just says Vito the Wig, which is
just a test.
What's up, Vito?
Which is actually Vito's picture, which is now in my computer, which is now why the CIA is going to be in my computer.
We know what he did. That was a long con right there.
Thank you.
Such an inside baseball.
Thank you for the super chat. Yeah, we will.
It's just gonna be file pictures of Vito.
I know. This is how he circumvented. This is how he circumnavigated Vito pictures onto my computer.
Hey, if you open it, does it just go wah? You open the file.
I just assume it's the same thing that happens that causes Jurassic Park to go down. Dennis,
he should start dressing like that.
He should wear Hawaiian shirts.
If he dressed like that, he'd be like, okay, Vito.
Yeah.
I see the cream is working.
Yeah, well, first of all, Vito
oh my god, see? Nobody cares.
Vito has that sort of unsightly beard where he absolutely should not have a beard. You know, like you hear people talk about like, oh, that guy has like a neck beard. Like that definitely is how Vito's beard. And I honestly think like going with this look is a better look. Like go with this look. Right? Just be the bare-chested neck meat.
I'm not gonna lie. I think you should start rocking that look.
Fuck no, not at all. Not ever. This guy has 5 times more chin than I have without a beard. Like I look like
I could pull that off.
I look like you could pull that off. I look like a slug without a beard. I have to have a beard. There's no.
What do you think he looks like in that picture? Not a slug, right?
No, I think he looks fine. I think Wayne Knight looks fine in this picture. Sitting here with his titties out, you know. That's totally Vito. 2 computer screens.
Come on, dude.
Laying back in the sturb mentality.
Can you zoom in on that? Can you zoom in on that at all?
I think I can. I think I can zoom it.
I want to crease. You know that tick crease. You know what I'm talking about. I want to see how that shirt. We should get those shirts. And they'd be like, "How fat are you?" I'm like, "I'm fat enough to rock this shirt."
It's not having the desired effect.
Oh man.
Here we go. There we go. It's a little dark, but you get the gist. Oh, hold on. I was on the wrong browser. Yeah. Yeah, it's Vito tits. Look at them. Pretty spectacular, right?
3 monitors, a couple of snacks on the thing. I know it's a snack.
What kind of soda is that?
The Diet Pepsi?
No, I don't think so. It might be an RC Cola or something.
Hey, that's a good question.
It's a Jolt Cola.
That's a good question, Vito.
That's a good trivia question.
No, look what the wig. He said, as big men, why do you guys look like you don't smell, but Vito looks like he smells sour? Well,
the answer would be
the answer for that is
that is
quite
100%
simple.
accurate. Yeah. Well, we shower regularly. Vito does not. From what we can tell, I mean,
from what we can gather,
the fact that he had, first of all, the photos from inside his shower on The Biggest Problem. My God. It was like, first of all, there was
they never told us why things were orange.
Yeah, well, no, he never explained why it was orange, but I did. I explained on our show why it was orange, and I used the analogy that my boss used to tell me when he would come into my video store when I was 19, and I go, I'm pretty sure we cleaned that like a week ago, and he goes, nah, dude, there's old dirt, and there's new dirt, and this is fucking old dirt. And that is old residue, my friend. That orange shit that cakes inside of the fucking between the crevices of the lid of the shampoo and the base of the shampoo, that's old goop. That is long old goop.
What?
Yeah, that is not
the sour look. That look where you're like, wow, why does he look like he smells sour? It's because he actually does. And what I want, like a home sort of experiment, just go and smell like a pickle brine, a good garlicky sour pickle brine. I know you got a jar of pickles in your house, probably. Yeah, motherfuckers always got pickles. Some type of pickled something in there.
It's also just as simple as this. Like, and I'll be straight with you.
And there's a sort of vinegary, bally.
It's not even that. When you're a fat guy, right? You don't realize that your underarm sweat, if you don't wear like a hardcore antiperspirant like I do, that's probably going to give me cancer. It goes down. It goes up your arm and it goes down the fucking whole ripple side of your tits. Okay? If you don't scrub all of that and you miss like one little piece of ripple tit fucking sweat stink that's over here, everyone's going to smell that. Like, you can't miss, when you're fat, you can't miss a crevice when you're scrubbing yourself down.
You just made me realize.
And it's like behind the ears, around the neck meat, like, and these fucking fats, I know what they do. I know what they do, because when I was thinner, I thought I could get away with this. You go arms, you go pits, you go crotch, and then you give it a little quick bloop. That's not enough. You can't do, nope, not enough. You gotta go in. You gotta get all up in there. You can't.
You made me realize
what?
That I'm not as fat as I thought I was.
Because you can get away with the less.
Away with it's just being clean. It's not getting away with anything. I'm not trying to get away with things.
You don't have to like really get into every nook and cranny.
I can, and I do.
Okay, well, you should. Everyone should, by the way. I'm just saying, when you're thin, you have less nooks and less crannies.
That's the thing. I think I just have more nooks to get into.
Vito the Wig says he's talked about sebum coming out of his head. Well, that
is.
Hold on, hold on. No, the problem with that is the guy's doing every kind of fucking chemicals under the sun. He's doing, he's got the Chinese Ozempic, he's got the hair shit going, the fucking finasteride or whatever the fuck that is. You got to
sebum.
Yeah, but sebum is just I'll get it in my beard sometimes. And by the way, you know what causes that? Two things can cause that. Having an allergic reaction to something can cause sebum to build up under the dermis in your beard. The other thing is not washing your fucking facial hair with the right kind of beard shampoo will allow that shit to build up and cause problems. So it's and by the way, that's what produces dandruff. It's the same shit. So if you are not taking all these other chemicals that he's taking, that's probably leading to that shit, and you just have like hard water or whatever that leads to that, get you a good dandruff shampoo. It's that simple. Or keep your beard as tight as Carl's is, and then you probably won't have that issue.
Man, I feel so grateful to be, but what's crazy is like he's not like as fat as you would think he is, like when you see him, right? Like he's not like lumped out, like all this busting out the sides.
Yeah, no. He and I
Sherman Clump
are
fat.
similar build in that we're just gut fat. Like we're not. Well, I think Vito's got a little bit more neck and head fat than I do, but we're mostly gut fat.
Yeah, but I think it's weird that because like there's just a sort of a fatness and hygiene that, you know, it's like my 600-pound life, but like he's not that fat, but his habits cause him to be that fat minded. Does that make sense?
Sure. Yeah.
So he has like the same.
It's if anything, it's like you're seeing the breadcrumbs, pun intended, of how somebody becomes 700 pounds or 800 pounds.
I know how I could do it. I could do it.
Yeah, you if you decided that you were done with all this pussy nonsense and that you were just gonna live your life, right?
That's the fattest guy alive.
You would blow by me and Vito in 2 weeks because your consumption level is already 10 times what we eat.
Yeah. I would say consumption wise, you're like at the bottom, right?
Yes.
And then Vito's here, and then I'm
probably
up there.
A little bit more than me, and then you eat like we look.
Right. But I feel like my activity level is the only reason I'm not 1,000 pounds.
Yeah.
And I feel like if Vito ate, but see, I don't know that he doesn't eat what I do because he's at more all you can eat spots than I am. But he is experimenting with like bulimia and shit.
Is he? I didn't see that. I just know he's doing the Ozempic and some of the other cheats. You know,
he was shitting and whatever else after every single half a meal he had.
Well,
if that's what Ozempic does, I'm not trying to have that.
Yeah, no, I can't. I already shit too much for a social life to begin with. I can't be ramping it up.
You shit a lot. You don't shit a lot. You shit a lot. But you don't shit often.
No, yeah. Probably that.
Like when you shit, it's probably like
it's a 25 minute. It's a 20
one of those things earlier.
Yeah, it's an ordeal when I shit. But I shit probably 2 times a day, once in the morning and
bricked up, dude. I ain't gotta lie, man. I ain't gonna lie.
Yeah.
It was a brick, and I wanted to go, man, this is a really sturdy one. I have to think about what I ate. And the only thing I could think of was I ate Taco Bell. But I don't know how Taco Bell would give me like a solid corn cob of a shit.
Yeah, Taco Bell doesn't do that to me. You know what does give me just the heartiest, best shits of all time is just McDonald's.
Like McDonald's is that's a good clean your ass out,
dude,
fucking colon cleanse of a dump.
I'm gonna tell you the colon cleanse if you can stomach it, right?
Quarter pounder with cheese.
Double quarter pounder with cheese. If you're a faggot, get a quarter pounder with cheese. You get a quarter pounder with cheese, you get a large Diet Coke, and you get chicken McNuggets with hot mustard. And it's gonna slip out of you like a fucking 12-month-old baby.
Now that thing is supposed to be.
Look at this. The wig headed to see Shane Gillis at the Honda Center. All right. It's pretty good. Pretty good venue. I wonder if Shane Gillis is still hawking tickets today for his show. We were joking about that when we saw Gervais last weekend. We were like, imagine being like, there's still 200 tickets available for this 17,000 seat venue.
Yeah. That was crazy.
It was a fun time. We had a good time at that.
Hey, here's the thing though. Trump, Musk how much of it is serious and how much of it is like this is just nonsense bullshit.
I don't think honestly, dude, I don't think any of it's serious anymore. I don't think it's all it's all bullshit. I mean, what are they gonna? I mean, this is the other thing too. Is like, I hate to be that.
The only reason that
Elon, guy, like, we're not gonna fix the corruption. Like, even Elon's argument is right, but it's also naive. The idea that we're going to just go in and be like, hey, stop stealing the taxpayer money. And they're going to go, all right, you caught us, our bad. The only way that this is ever going to change the way that it needs to change is bloodshed. That's it. That's all that's ever going to change it. This idea that you're going to go in as like an outsider and you're going to go, shame on you guys. Look, I found all this fraud and this theft and this embezzlement, everything. And they're going to go, okay, see ya. We're not going to stop. We're not done. And Trump's old and he's got 3.5 years of term left. Who gives a fuck? We'll outlast him. The system's never going to die. Like, you want that shit to change in this country? Pick up a rifle. Enough with the fucking enough with the fucking voting and the debt. We have to, we're too much debt. Ugh. If you want them to stop spending money, you're going to have to kill them. That's the only way it's ever going to happen. The government is never going to stop stealing from you. The government is never going to stop spending more than they have to until you literally hold a gun to their heads, until you literally walk in there and go, if you don't sign this fucking bill and stop stealing our money and stop spending it on bullshit, we're going to start executing you one by one. That's the only way it's ever going to happen. That's it. So everything else is jerking off. It's masturbation. It's theater. That's it. Sorry.
I'm just going to tell jokes then.
Yeah. That's what I'm saying. Like, everything. Josh, you're a smart guy. You should run for office. And do what? Get in there and they go, oh, God, just it's too big to change. What I've been saying, like, it goes back to what I said years ago. Either we're talking about radical violent terrorism or we're just fucking ignore it.
Yeah, they would. It's I don't think it has to come to that, but I was thinking about civil war.
It does.
You're thinking about civil wars. Who starts all the civil wars, or who are they for?
Yeah, I mean, I don't know who started. I mean, Lincoln started the first one, right? When he was just like, let my people go. And then they were like, no.
Charlton and Donner.
I think we have to fight you now.
I'm just saying, if there's a lot of countries in Africa, there's like 50 of them. They have civil wars all the time. Civil wars. And then we had one civil war in our country, and it was for them.
Yeah. Yeah. The only civil war we ever fought was for yous. Can you show a little bit of appreciation?
We're still having civil wars.
Hold on. Can you turn that fucking Bluetooth speaker off in the grocery store, please? Can you
talk to you about genocides and civil wars?
Can you do one fucking thing for a society and turn off that fucking Bluetooth speaker, please? In the name of Abraham Lincoln, I'm going to start saying this to them when I see them out wild. In the name of Abraham Lincoln, please stop.
And they're just going to drive by and go, man, fuck Abraham Lincoln.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
Send them to Auschwitz.
How many?
Or whatever the equivalent it is. You send them to the first integrated high school in Little Rock, Arkansas or something. And what do you send them to? Selma, Alabama?
I don't know where you send them to. Where do you send them to learn how to be better? There isn't a place on earth where they're doing better than here, and they're not doing that good.
It's so funny too, because like probably the Jews is the only thing that have that sort of thing going on where somebody's they go, you're anti-Semitic. Tell you what, we're gonna send you to Auschwitz, and we'll see how you act after that. Like, oh my God, I can't believe they killed all you guys. I mean, Never once did he be like, man, you said the N-word. We're going to send you to Baltimore. See how you fucking... Or they go, we're going to send them to Nigeria.
Yeah, but the problem
like,
is you send me to
anywhere you send them, if you
send me to Baltimore, I'm going to say it more. Yeah. Because there's going to be more of them.
Exactly. That's the only group. Jews are the only people that have that going for them.
Yeah. But it's also because there aren't any still in Auschwitz. Like if they were there with their but this bread is 5 cents more expensive than that bread, you'd be like, turn them on, fire.
Can I just propose? Has anybody checked the tunnels?
Yeah.
Could still be there.
That's insane. The tunnels is funny.
My mom did that when we were back home. When I was back home, she was in the store. She just fucking buys these what you call it, like peanuts and and seeds and stuff for like birds and squirrels and shit out of the bird feeders and stuff.
Hold on, is your mom out throwing Jew seed into the yard and seeing if she can lure them into the?
Close. She's throwing coon seeds. She's feeding all the raccoons. In the
back God. Okay.
But she sees it. She goes, "Hey, we're at another Publix that isn't by where they live. It's a little bit away." And she goes, "Hey, these are 50 cents cheaper than our Publix." I go, "Okay." She goes, "I'm gonna get them." She buys 4 bags of the seed.
Saves $2.
I go save 2, and then tells the cashier this information. These are 50 cents more expensive at my Publix. As if it's just like, just boop, just. I just want to be like, wow.
There's something. There's something.
I'm behind her. Like, can you? I wanted to apologize to the girl checking her out. Like,
there's something about crossing that. There's something about crossing over 60 that makes you like boop. A fucking encyclopedia, boring Tanica. Where you're just like,
I just don't share any information with other people. Like I feel like I don't
injustice and a discovery at the same time.
Why are you sharing this information with people?
Yeah, why you just go on about?
They don't even need to know this of like why you're doing something. It's just like
and follow that through logically. Either they're wrong there or they're wrong where you live, and it's either going to go up or down. And you're going to get a manager fired because he didn't do his updated price check.
But he's just looking at this whole thing of going, lady, I don't care what you're doing here.
Yes,
like, there's a thing. She thinks like in her mind, has to justify why she's buying something out loud to somebody. And this poor cashier girl has to take this dumb, nonsensical shit on the chin.
If I was of the class of person who was still working one of these kind of jobs, I would be like, ma'am, we're going to get to the bottom of this. And I would keep your mother in that store for 6 hours while we solve this mystery.
It's not a mystery. It's just a different store price.
No. Either ours is wrong or theirs is wrong, and we're going to get to the bottom of this. And I would grab her by the wrist and I would hold her prisoner. She would wait for me to fax documents to the other store, receive them back from the other store.
You just want to get out of doing all the other work at the store.
Yep, it's turning into a real fucking unsolved mysteries if I'm at the helm.
Sorry, Doug, you gotta help a customer.
It'll be the last.
Because this is Publix, where shopping is a pleasure.
It would be the last fucking time your mother spoke to another human ever.
At the store, for sure.
Ever. She'd be like,
you know what would really happen though if you?
I brought up a price discrepancy once in 2025, and this guy kept me in a store for 6 hours.
You know what would really happen if you were just in the store?
In a Publix?
In a Publix, like behind me and my mom checking out. You would just go, this is why I don't go to the store.
Well, I would never be there. This is why I don't go.
But if you were, you would literally go, this is why I don't go.
I would be behind your goddamn mother who goes, these are 50. I go, no. And I just drop all my shit and walk out.
You always wonder, like, who the fuck is in the store giving the fucking song and dance about why they've just bought something to the cashier. It's my mom, and you're gonna be behind them going, "This is why I'm not. This is why I don't come in here." And my mom is the type to go, "I'm sorry, are you in a hurry?"
Well, during the pandemic, there was like no grocery delivery or anything for a while. And so we had to go into the stores. And I remember going into the stores and, you're just standing behind people who are like commenting on their purchases where they're just like, have you had these? These are really good. And I was like, if I had a gun right now, I'd fucking empty the clip on this.
Why does that now? Hold on. Let's get it. Why does that bother you?
Because it slows the line down. Move the line. You don't need to. She works here. She could try everything. You don't need to give her your recommendations.
Oh, you're saying the people talking to the
yeah, they go, have you ever had these? And they go, oh yeah, I have had those. Those are great. Yeah.
You're saying like at a Trader Joe's or
at any of them. I don't need,
that happens at like a Trader Joe's.
I don't need
have you had these? Oh yeah, those are good. I like then the Trader Joe's, the problem with Trader Joe's is they're too talkative back.
It happens the most at Trader Joe's. That's why I don't go. That's why I don't go.
Then they'll go, hey, actually, if you like those, you should try these. And then they're trying to upsell at the register like it's fucking like it's the Capitol Grill.
Yeah, this was, by the way, this was 25 minutes of Craig Conan's stand-up material when he first started doing comedy, was about him working at Trader Joe's and all the recommendations that he would make to people. And I was like, if I ever came through your line and you did anything other than beep, $36, I would fucking choke you to death. I have no time
People don't ask. I don't know what you don't like. Unsolicited friendliness.
I don't like unnecessary human interaction. I don't care for it.
What makes it unnecessary? What you deem as unnecessary?
The fact that I could get through, I could accomplish
whatever
without it. If I can get groceries to my house without talking to a lady at a thing, I'm gonna do that.
But see, I've gone my whole life where when I leave the house, somebody's gonna ask me how tall I am.
Yeah.
So like I already have like the accidental interactions.
See, people don't talk to me like that. They know. Yeah. I have like a man bitch face where people are like, he don't want to be talked to right now. And then so even worse is when people kind of climb the gate of what I'm giving off and they engage me anyway, then I'm even more mad. Cause I'm like, listen,
when does that happen?
Oh, it happens a lot.
They're climbing your gate?
Yeah, it happens a lot.
When you got your gate climbed?
I told you I went on a date like 3 weeks ago and we were sitting there eating and we're having a full-blown conversation and this 60-plus-year-old woman sitting to my left just reaches out and grabs my arm and goes, what are you eating right there? And I was like, I seriously, for a second, I thought about taking the fucking fork and stabbing her right in the throat with it.
Why is it not? Oh, what a sweet old lady.
Well, that's how I played it because I didn't want the chick to think I was a serial killer. But inside, I go, "Who the fuck grabs another?" And don't look
sweet old lady.
No. And she goes, "We have never seen you guys in here before." And I go, "I don't know. Do we need a membership to be here?"
Wow. Just being nice.
No, she was being nosy.
Yeah, but you have an aversion to somebody else's kindness because it's unsolicited.
Well, no, I don't solicit kindness. Kindness is fine. Nosiness.
No, but I'm saying their unsolicited kindness. You're like, I don't want this.
No, if we're really gonna can of worms this, it's the absolute willingness to disrupt me. That's what puts me on the fucking aggressive tip.
What is disrupting you?
Reaching out and grabbing the arm of another person, because you can't just go, "Hey, sir." You got to grab me so that I can't ignore you. That is conversational rape. That is you going, there's no way you're
going to. But she's a sweet old lady.
No, I'm going to.
She's not. She wasn't sweet?
No, there was nothing sweet about her. There was nothing. I got no sweetness out of her at all. She read like suburban cunt. What are you doing here? I felt like a black person Just having a white lady rub my fucking Brillo head. Just, ooh, that's what it felt like. That's what it felt like.
Hey, man, it's not even close to the same thing.
That's how it felt.
How did the girl feel?
She was like, I don't know what the fuck's happening right now. And I was like, yeah, me neither. Apparently, we're all having dinner together now. Because it wasn't just that. It was, we've never seen you here before. Where are you guys from? Blah, 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 blah. I was like, this is my first time talking to this bitch. Butt out.
Dude, that's awesome.
No, it's not awesome.
It is, dude. Now
It's
you get something
awesome
to talk about with the other chick, and then you can see if she's an asshole or not.
Yeah, no, she equally was like, I didn't want to participate in that, and I was like, cool, me neither. And then I was like, they're probably trying to fucking have sex with us. That's probably what these old creeps are doing. They're like, ooh, fresh meat.
You're like
club restaurant place. They're like, yeah, let's. Nobody is friendly for no reason, Carl. Nobody is just trying to make friends. Nope, nobody is just trying to make friends. They probably wanted to take us home
I'm
and fuck
friendly
us.
For no reason.
They probably wanted to take us. You're dumb. They probably wanted to take us home and fuck us and eat us. Okay, that's probably what it was.
You think nobody is friendly for no reason?
Nope, not at all. No one is friendly for just to be friend. Nope, everyone's got a
so
fucking.
Sad.
Everyone is. There's a transaction behind every smile.
It's not, bro. You need to go to the South.
Yeah, you can't. Don't point at dumb people and go, they're nice. Yeah, they're retarded. Retarded.
No,
people
they're not retarded. I say the South, and you say it's retarded.
Okay.
What about the South? Southern hospitality.
I'm saying it's one and the same. Retarded Down syndrome people are super nice without a motive. But it's also it's related to intelligence. Anyone with over 100 IQ is not nice for no reason. They're trying to get something out of you
because they're too smart to be kind.
Yeah.
That's pretty sad. That's
Some would say it's ugly and big, and it's a big, ugly truth about people.
Well, it's a big, ugly bill. That's what it is, really. He said it was big, beautiful bill.
Yeah.
It's not. It's big and ugly. It's very ugly. Some would say the ugliest, not good.
What's not
There's
ugly?
There's a provision in there that says that states won't be able to regulate AI for 10 years.
Yeah, you were really freaking out about this.
It's just, why couldn't California or Florida or New York or Ohio handle some fucking AI company that was either breaking the law or was doing some fuck shit or whatever, and they have a chance to like regulate it? They can't, and it would only be under the jurisdiction of the federal government. Like, that's fucking nuts. It's bananas. That's bananas. You know how long 10 years is? That's just one thing in the bill.
I just shit 12 years of my life away like that. It doesn't even, it's like a blink. You don't even think about it. You just go 12 years, gone.
You don't even think about it? Not even.
No, it's like it literally is like a Men in Black flashy thing. Like,
that'd be tight though if you had one of those.
It feels like
yeah, but think about this.
It feels like it just connected my single life before to my single life now, and there's nothing. Everything in the middle is just might as well have been a dream.
Do you think that the last generation to like lie and make shit up, like they're done, right? That can't exist anymore. There was dudes who were like telling their sons and nephews and shit, they're like, I did this back in my day, and like now they can just like look everything up.
Yeah, this is why I say like there's no reason to not sin in public. Like if you use the N-word, say it publicly. If you have bigoted opinions about things, say them publicly. There is nowhere to hide who you really are. So just be that everywhere all the time in front of people, whatever. Like literally let it all hang out. No hiding the truth of anything anymore for anybody.
There's a couple of things that people can hide their whatever they choose to hide, like their sexuality or their fucking.
Nope, they'll get you. They'll get you. They'll get you Glenn Greenwald style. They'll be like, look at this guy sucking cacks.
I'm just saying that
unless
that's pretty rude
Amish,
to do that.
Unless you're living Amish, they're going to find you. Everything is everywhere. There's even if you don't use cameras and shit everywhere. There's cameras everywhere.
They're going to find you.
Some guys
going to get you. They get
somewhere. You. Yeah, you're done. There's no more hiding anything. That's it. It's over. Just be yourself. Moral of the story. End of the episode. Are we going to go watch hockey? Can we go watch hockey? Watch hockey, everybody.
It's such a weird way to end hockey. Things.
It's whites. It's fast. It's intense. There aren't annoying celebrities courtside. If there are, there's glass, so you don't even have to really see them. Pretty great. That
is true. That they don't, even if there is celebrities there, they'd be like, here they are. All right, back to the ice.
Yeah. That's one of the things I hate about the NBA is that they're literally like on the court. The celebrities are on the court. And
hey,
like,
what's up, Jigga baby? Hey.
Yeah.
Mama.
Yeah, I don't like Ben Stiller's sneakers like next to championship. I don't like that.
You don't like Adam Sandler in basketball shorts?
No.
Hoping he takes his dick out and slaps some old lady with it.
If he did that, I would be all for it. You got me, NBA. You got me.
That's what you're rooting for the NBA. If you're rooting for the NBA courtside seats.
If LeBron dropped his shorts and ran his dick across the entire front row's faces, it'd be the most iconic moment in the history of sports. And I would
just be Kendall Jenner.
Yeah.
Like that and shit.
Yeah, but yeah, one of the Kardashians would catch it. That's the problem. You wouldn't be able to slap the whole row because two bitches would be on it before it even gets to the audience, you know.
Plus, we know some motherfuckers that would be like, I'm trying to get Lakers courtside seats.
Yeah, that's you can't do that in LA. In LA, I might jump in front of Kendall Jenner and take that one. Yeah. She's a little too slow.
Let me get that for you.
Yeah, this is why they don't make as much as they do in the men's leagues. They're just faster, more explosive athletes.
That's the NBA.
NBA.
It's a men's league.
It's an all men's league.
It's for men. It's only for men.
It's only for men. And it's just, the biggest and the bestest. And,
I don't even watch that other stuff with women's. Women's.
This is off the rails. All right, great show, everybody. We'll see you next week.